It's a great day right here on Fake Chats with Andrew Burnett, and today I am excited. I have Billy Blue recording artist Caroline Owens. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I am excited to have you here. So, to begin the conversation, share with us a little bit about your career and how it got started in bluegrass music.
Yeah, so I started singing when I was two, just a tiny tot, as they say. I grew up singing in the church. My grandpa was a Baptist preacher. And so I got my start singing in church and gospel music. And then I started playing bluegrass when I was about 13 when I picked up the guitar and just took it off from there.
So, who would you say was the earliest sounds of bluegrass that you remember hearing that was like, man, I want to hear more of this?
Allison Krauss. Easy.
So was it a certain song that you heard from Alison Krauss, or
Heaven's Bright Shore. I was on YouTube looking up guitar chords, bluegrass guitar chords, and boom, she popped right up. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've been living under a rock. She's incredible.
there's many top bluegrass female vocalists out there. I mean, my goodness, you've got Rhonda Vincent, you've got Alison Krauss, as you mentioned. Who were some of your favorites that, if a fan was to go through your playlist that you listen to on a daily, who would they hear?
Well, you'd hear some bluegrass, but you'd hear a lot of stuff that isn't bluegrass too. You'd hear a lot of Dolly, her bluegrass cuts, but you'd hear some of her country cuts as well. You'd hear a lot of Nora Jones, some slow jazz. I like all kinds of music.
What would you say your favorite genre of music would be overall, though? If you had to,
Bluegrass.
good answer. So let's talk about your new single, Build an Art. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about it.
So this song was written by bluegrass photographer Lacey Mack. And we did it on my debut album, self-titled debut album, and we were looking for material. And we were just missing a gospel tune. I knew that I wanted to put a gospel tune on there. At the time, the label I was with, Skyline Records, knew we wanted to do a bluegrass gospel song as well to, pay homage to my upbringing. And so I messaged Lacey. I said, "Do you have any gospel?" Because she had sent some stuff that was not, and it was very good too. And she said, "Well, I've got this little song right here," and then it was born.
So what's your favorite part about that song? What does this song mean to you?
Well, I love, as far as the arrangement of it, I just love the vocal, how the vocal just kind of breezes over top of that, instrumentation. It almost has it's just such an upbeat feel to it, and you don't really hear that vibe very much anymore, where it has the old type sound.
So December 2023 was a big month for you. Heartbreak Train ended up on the chart. Share with us a little bit about that.
That was crazy. I found out it was the number one bluegrass song of 2023 on the Bluegrass Borderline charts, and that was, oh my gosh, I just couldn't believe it. I'm mainly because I didn't have a lot of confidence as a writer. And that was a song that I had written when I was 17. And it just, I just didn't think much of it. I guess you just always are harder on your own material. So that was a big deal for me.
So what was the story behind the song Heartbreak Train?
I just sat down one day and I thought, well, I wasn't really heartbroken at the time. Of course, I was 17. I'm not sure that you can really quite know what that means anyway, maybe. But thought, well, what's a different way to say this? We all talk about being heartbroken, and there's plenty of songs about being sad and, love loss, but bluegrass is all about trains. I thought, well, if I was sad, what would I be riding down the road on? I'd be on a heartbreak train. And it was born in about 10 minutes.
Wow. So if you had the possibility to collaborate with any bluegrass artist, who would you say you would pick?
Allison, I just can't help it. She's just, she was just such a big influence to me. I don't think that, actually, I know I wouldn't be playing this music if it hadn't been for her.
What are some of your top favorite Alison Krauss songs?
I'd have to go with Restless is a big one for me. That honey, I know you've been lonesome. I love that one. New favorite. I loved that whole record, but new favorite, you just can't beat it. There's so many, but those are the top two.
So what's coming up for you in the near future?
Well, we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. There's one big thing that I'm excited. I haven't said anything about it yet. I can't say anything just yet, but be on the lookout. That'll be coming in probably less than 2 weeks. We have some really fun stuff coming up, some business side stuff. But as far as shows go, we've got one actually coming up tomorrow, Camp Springs Bluegrass Park in Elon, North Carolina, my home state. So I'm back home for a few days today.
So, being raised in Raleigh, North Carolina, which I'm in South Carolina, by the way, y- what was the bluegrass festivals that you remember attending growing up?
Well, I was raised in Denton, about 2 hours from Raleigh. So I remember going to Dole Lawson's festival right there in Denton, North Carolina. We didn't start attending it until I got into bluegrass, so about 13 or 14, but we attended it all the way up until, Dole passed it on to the Malpass brothers, and we actually played his very last festival. So we've been playing it. This will be our fourth or fifth year playing it next year.
What was that opportunity like being able to play at his last festival?
Oh my gosh, the highest honor.
And I'm sure many people were blessed just by hearing your music and seeing you as well. And what other artist was on that festival with you?
Oh gosh, this is gonna sound terrible, but I'm trying to rack my brain to remember. They had such a fantastic lineup. I just remember being nervous the whole time. I don't remember much about, and of course that year also opened up with the national anthem.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was a whole nother um, that's a little intimidating.
I'm sure that was. I mean, what harder song to sing than the national anthem?
There isn't one.
But, music has a way of relating with people. When people hear your music, what do you hope that they get out of it?
Well, we do a lot of heartbreak songs. We do some uplifting, but I just love heartbreak songs. So I hope that when people listen to my music, they feel exactly the way I'm feeling when I'm singing it. You know what I mean? I hope they feel every emotion that I'm conveying. That's what I hope.
So why are you so big, if you don't mind me asking, on the heartbreak type of song?
I think it all comes back to my love for Allison, her music. She just had such a beautiful way of being, having that heartbreak sound. And I just didn't think there was anything quite like it. And it just really resonated with me. And that was just the way that I thought music should be. I thought it was the highest peak, and I still do.
So take us back to the first time that you remember ever stepping on a stage and singing bluegrass music.
It was an open mic night at Dole Lawson's Festival. I sang. It's a Wednesday night. They still do it, and I still attend it because I think that that's just the right thing to do. But it was a Wednesday night at Denton, North Carolina. The sun had just gone down, and I was very nervous. I didn't have a band. I had borrowed a guitar, and I did a 30-minute set all by myself. And that was really my first memory that I have.
What
And
were
then the
s-
next year, we were on the festival.
what were some of the songs that you remember singing?
I did some classic country as well. I believe I did a few dolly tunes, and I did mostly standard material. I did Weepin' Willow Tree, Wonder Where You Are Tonight, a lot of standards.
So I have to ask, if you were to pull up your classic country playlist, who are
Yeah,
some of those favorites that we would hear?
a lot of Keith Whitley. I just, even his bluegrass stuff, it was just top notch. So you hear a lot of Whitley. Of course, you'd hear Dolly. I loved Reba, love Reba. There's so many great. And right now I'm loving Zach Top, Lainey Wilson. I love the new stuff too. So you'd hear just about everything that you hear. I just love all kinds of music, but those are some big ones for me right now.
Well, I hear Build an Arc has made it to number one on the radio music DJ chart. Share with us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's really neat to me. This is the third week that it's been number one. So that was so cool to me. It's uh it's actually a radio chart that's based out of my hometown or close to my hometown in North Carolina. So it has a lot of local support, but it's been a big thrill to see it climbing on up and staying there.
Wow. So, Caroline, share with us how we can find out more about your career or to purchase your music or anything like that.
Yeah, there's two different ways you can find us online. Caroline Band is my personal, but BillyBlueRecords.com is another great way that you can find out about me. There's a biography on there as well. If you'll just click my picture in the artist section, it'll take you right over.
Well, Caroline, it has been an honor talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. I know you
Yes,
are
sir.
very busy person, and I appreciate your time.
Yes. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for having me.
All right.